What it do? It's your boy, Illuminated D, and you know what I'm saying? We back with another one. Alright? So the first thing I want to do is come in and thank all the subscribers. I want to let you know that I really appreciate y'all and watching the content, consuming the content. Today is July 1st, 2024. And it's a blessed day. So let's jump right into this. This topic is why I think buying a property in 2024 is so important. So let's look at two different dynamics. You got rentability / leasability, and then you have buyability. Now, at today's current inflation rate that the banks are charging the borrowers, individuals who'll be taking the loans and either buying the property, or the individuals who own the property and they will be renting it out at a certain rate based off of their monthly mortgage rate to you, right? Now, what's the benefit of buying a property in my head? Well, the benefit of buying a property is that you get to build equity. They say properties double every decade, and you always have somewhere to live as long as you pay your taxes. Now, what's the good part about rentability? Well, renting, you don't have to worry about, major damages. You're not liable for it. And all you got to do is just put down a deposit and you get a place that's maintained pretty much. And then we have leasability, which I believe, if you're going to lease your property out, I have one property leased out in the West Coast. So I'm down south now, but I have a property management company that pretty much takes care of everything on that side. So, and if you look at the leasability, a lease to own option gives you the option to put money down and then manage the property as if it were your own with the option to buy in the future. Now, I think the safe route for anybody in today's economy, because with these inflation rates, a $3,000 house you're paying roughly $3,000 every single month, not including utilities, not including garbage, not including Wi-Fi, phone bill, gas, car note. So you got to start looking at your dynamic of what is it that you're trying to do. Now, you have to ask yourself, am I looking to settle down here? Do I want to pick up and move at some point? Am I looking to rent? Am I looking to lease out the property? I think in these times you got to start asking these questions, but the important key note is to help you realize is that a lot of these major corporations are buying up all the land and all the property, and it's not illegal. It's not illegal. So they can buy everything if they want to, right? And they can and give you only the leasability. So you only have the option to lease it, which means that you can rent it, but you never get to buy it. And guess what? Those values of the property keep going up. So every decade they double. So this is the key factor that I want everybody that's hearing this to take in, is you need to find a friend with a good credit score who takes care of their monthly payments on their cards, and you need to get put as an authorized user without the ability to have a card. And as long as it's that consistent friend, they can help you build your credit over time. And that also gives them leverage by helping them to be able to use you as a cosigner if they were to try and take larger sets of loans, which in turn is a yin-yang effect that helps the both of you, because if most of the properties, the nice ones at least, are going for roughly $250,000 and above right now, and you got to remember these homes that our parents had, right? They bought those for $100,000, and now they're worth $400,000 from roughly 2020 time, because the market evaluated and said there wasn't enough properties on the market. So the value shot up when everybody was trying to buy all the homes. But it wasn't just individuals, sole individuals like you and me. It was corporations. So if you start looking at these corporations and how they're moving, they're the ones taking up all the wealth. Because if you can imagine, you got 100 houses or 10 houses or 5 houses, and let's say each one was worth 100,000, but it doubled. So that means that it went to 200,000 in all 5. Now you just made $1 million. You put in 500,000, but you just made $1 million because it doubled on you. So you see what I'm saying? Like, we got to start looking at the dynamic of, yeah, our parents were able to capitalize off some of these gains at this point, but they had to go through the .com bubble. They had to go through the housing market crash. You know what I'm saying? We had to go through the oil situation. We got a lot of things going on in the background, but I want to focus on a key factor of why this is important. This is important because if at some point every home becomes $300,000 and more, and you haven't yet established your credit, you haven't learned how to use circulating debt in order to offset some of these hard times and know how to play with it so that you don't have to only use your income. You need to learn how to use debt to debt leverage ratios. Learn how to leverage your debt for investments. You know what I'm saying? Because they're looked at as assets at some point, and then you can use those properties in order to get yourself into bigger doors. But my point of this is that I'm trying to get back to is that it's so important, because if every single property becomes $300,000 and you need roughly a minimum of a 650 credit score, which isn't hard to get, but a 650 credit score, and you need the right income in order to show, versus if you just get yourself put on a card and it shows that you're good for it, right? Get yourself put on a trade line showing that you're good for it, pretty much. You can start your LLC, but my point of it is if every home becomes $300,000 and you need these two things, you need credit score to be on point, and you need the income to debt ratio to be, show you have the ability in order to take care of the payments. Let's say they double and then each home goes to 600,000 and you miss the wave. And now inflation is so high that you never have the opportunity to buy a home. And then all the corporations buy up the homes. Those smart individuals buy up the homes. And then everything keeps doubling and doubling and doubling. Well, it's a scary sight if nobody in the lineage does it. Because if you don't do it, and you don't have that opportunity, I think that's where the major separation comes in. Where it's like those who own and those who don't. And if you don't have the ability to own, then you never have the ability to actually touch the level that you need in order to keep up with inflation, which means that you just somehow stay down here. Now, you can start a business and pull yourself out of, that slump. But if it was solely based off of future assets that you own that appreciate over time, that work while you sleep, yeah, it fluctuates with the market, but it works while you sleep, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I would say, and my point was, why would buying a house be important in 2024? I say because if you look at it right now, inflation is dumb, but the properties are cheap. But when inflation is low, the properties are super expensive. So right now, if the market is down, This is the perfect time to buy. You buy when it hurts, and you sell in euphoria. So if you look at it in hindsight, right now everybody's saying it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Inflation's killing me. Well, that's the time to go deeper. And instead of, because they say like, well, why would you go backwards? Well, technically you're looking at it like, okay, well, if I'm turning around and saying, okay, look, I can run from my pain, or I can face my pain and dive deeper and find a way to survive my pain, in the future, you have exponentially made more, you can make more progress just based off the fact that you face your pain up front. And you got to understand, like, it's not hard. All you have to do is get like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and then put 3 people in that mug. If that mug is $3,000, make each person pay $1,000. If you make $3,000 a month, you're still holding on to $2,000, and you can split the utilities between you. Now you got 2 paychecks. That's 5 bands. You see what I'm saying? You get to hold on to 5 bands instead of paying the $1,500. I'm looking at it in hindsight of like, you just got to make sure that the scenery is on point when you do it, and make sure that everything is up to code, and making sure that the people that are coming to the crib, they catch a good vibe with you, so that you're not going through all the heartaches of dirty house, and nobody pitching in for the food and all the extra stuff that comes with it. You just find a good team who actually cares about you, who wants to see you succeed, you want to see them succeed, and then y'all just use each other as an energy level to push each other to keep going hard. You feel me? But I think that's why it's so important right now. If you want to jump in the water, right now is the perfect time to do it. And it seems hard because inflation is crazy, but just add more people to the pot and it makes it easy. You see what I'm saying? If you try to do everything by yourself, it's hard. But as a unit, you can do anything. Anything is possible as a team. But remember, you got to have the right team, because some teams are there to help you build, and some teams are there to help you break it down. And they weren't there with you from the beginning, so you got to make sure, depending on who you bring in, make sure that they want to succeed just as bad as you do. Because if they do, and make sure that they're loyal and honest, and they respect you and you respect them, and it's A1. All right? We all want to be successful. We all want to be somewhere in life. But in order to do that, you got to do something that you ain't never done before. And that's the reason that we doing this right here, right now. Everybody be blessed. Be safe. It's a great day. We out.